Good evening and welcome to Roadside Republic, a show that has clocked thousands of miles on this political journey across the country in the run-up to counting day, that is the 16th of May. Today we come to you live from Lucknow, but the news is not emanating from Lucknow. It's actually emanating from a place, a constituency which is roughly about 150 kilometers from Lucknow, called Amethi. And Priyanka Gandhi is one person who never fails to make it to the top of the headlines every single day. It's been 2 weeks since she's been campaigning in the pocket boroughs of Amethi and Raebareli, and perhaps every single day she manages to grab headlines. It's not something that she said today, but rather something that she did that made news. Yes, Priyanka Gandhi brushed aside her SPG security cover because she thought it was a hurdle of sorts when she was trying to engage with the crowds while campaigning for her brother Rahul Gandhi in his constituency of Amethi. I was spared the road trip because I was a little under the weather today, but my colleague Hridesh Joshi was there and caught up with Priyanka Gandhi.
Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is one of the most fiercely guarded people in the country. But today, while campaigning in Amethi, Priyanka managed to give her security a slip. Breaking the cordon of the elite force called the Special Protection Group, the star campaigner who prefers to mingle with the crowd drove off to the next rally. The critical security paraphernalia, the jammer van that blocks signals, and this ambulance carrying a team of doctors all left behind.
One thing that will stifle you every time you're going and meeting people, does the security cover stifle you? Just
between them and you make my life miserable.
A few kilometers and 20 minutes later, the motorcade finally caught up with Priyanka. But after her display of public displeasure, chose to keep its distance and was no longer seen right behind or beside her. Despite having never contested an election or expressed the desire to do so, she's one of the biggest newsmakers of this election. Priyanka seems to view the tight security as a spoiler in her style of campaigning.
हाँ, ये तो चूंकि राहुल जी हो चाहे प्रियंका जी हो, उनका पूरा प्रयास होता है कि पब्लिक के बीच में, पब्लिक से डायरेक्ट इंटरेक्ट करें, लोगों से मिलें. और अमेठी रायबरेली तो बेसिकली एक फैमिली है, परिवार है, परिवार का सदस्य है. इसमें थोड़ा बाधा कम हो.
And these people hoping to catch a glimpse or have a quick word are happy with greater access to Priyanka. The episode, however, has rattled top officers of Uttar Pradesh, who are believed to have complained to the SPG about the major security breach. With Hridesh Joshi in Amethi, Rohit Rajan for NDTV.
Well, that's not all that happened with Priyanka Gandhi in Amethi today. The battle of barbs between her and Narendra Modi continues. And Narendra Modi, apparently in an interview to the public broadcaster, Doordarshan, had actually talked about the fact that Priyanka Gandhi was a daughter of sorts to her. And this is something that Priyanka Gandhi responded to when she was questioned about it in Amethi. The national broadcaster says that that portion was not edited out. It is very much a part of that interview that it had with Mr. Modi, who is the prime ministerial candidate of the BJP. Let's listen into what Priyanka Gandhi had to say about that remark that Mr. Modi made.
मोदी ने इंटरव्यू में कहा है कि प्रियंका हमारी बेटी जैसी है, अगर वो कुछ कहेंगी तो हम बोलेंगे. मैं राजीव गांधी की बेटी हूँ.
That's it from me in Lucknow. Let's now go over to my colleague in Simandra. Uma Sudhir joins us from there, which goes to actually polls, in the next phase of elections. It's over to you, Suma.
Thank you, Anant. We are here in Guntur. In fact, here Narendra Modi came visiting along with Chandrababu Naidu and Pawan Kalyan. In fact, after the battle for Telangana, it seems like the battle for Simandra, and it's as though they have turned 180 degrees. Those parties like the BJP, which are claiming credit for the formation of Telangana, now blaming the Congress and in fact even YSR Congress, as in YS Rajshekar Reddy, for the formation of a separate Telangana. So they are promising development, they are promising progress as the package that Narendra Modi and Chandrababu Naidu will bring to Simandra, which is really very, very anxious about the future, about building a capital as well. But interestingly, Jagan Mohan Reddy has also said that he's open to joining hands with the NDA or with the BJP post-elections. But today Narendra Modi, in a sense, seemed to have criticized Jagan Mohan Reddy. So is he really closing doors on Jagan Mohan Reddy? We caught up with their meeting earlier in the day. Telangana elections over, it was mission carpet bombing Seemandhra. Narendra Modi and Chandrababu Naidu, additionally powered by actor Pavan Kalyan, held 5 big rallies across the region from Tirupati to Visakhapatnam.
I want to join with Narendra Modi. Both are branded as development persons. Under our leadership, I am confident we will put India on the world map.
आपको तय करना है कि आपको सीमांध्र को स्वर्णिम आंध्र बनाना है या आपको सीमांध्र को स्कैम आंध्र बनाना है। ये निर्णय करने का ये चुनाव है। वाईएसआर
Jagan Mohan Reddy had earlier said he is open to joining hands with any party other than the Congress post-elections.
I have all my options open, except Congress, anybody. All my interest is my state.
Has Narendra Modi chosen Chandrababu Naidu over Jagan Mohan Reddy? Modi has asked the people of Seemandhra to choose Swarnandhra over a scam Andhra, but he has refrained from naming Jagan Mohan Reddy. Is he keeping his options open for after the elections if he does need the numbers? In Guntur, with camera person Nagaraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV. We are here, in fact, in Guntur, which has become a very, very high-profile constituency. We have a former industrialist who's making his political debut, Jay Galla, contesting from here. And interestingly, the Narsaraopet, which is the other Lok Sabha constituency in the Guntur district, that is someone who has been 4-time MP in the Congress. He is now jumped to the Telugu Desam and going to contest as an MP from here. But now I am here in the YSR Congress party office in Guntur, and the fight is really between the YSR Congress and the Telugu Desam, with the Congress virtually wiped out. समझा ये जाता था कि मुसलमान जो हैं वो कांग्रेस को वोट करते हैं, इस बारी क्या बदल गया है? वो
इसलिए बदला है, हम चाहते हैं सेक्युलर हुकूमत हो और जो मजहब परस्त पार्टी हैं उनसे मुसलमान दूर रह रहे हैं, उनसे मुसलमान दूर हैं। अभी
आप इस बारी कांग्रेस को नहीं डालना चाहेंगे क्या? कम्युनिटी में ऐसी कोई सोच है कि यहाँ पे?
कम्युनिटी में ऐसी सोच नहीं है। पिछले 4 साल में कांग्रेस ने मुसलमानों के लिए कुछ नहीं किया है। इससे पहले राजशेखर रेड्डी जो सीएम था उन्होंने मुसलमानों को 4% एजुकेशन लाइन में दे के उन्होंने मुसलमानों का बहुत फायदा किया। अभी वही हिसाब से जगन मोहन रेड्डी भी उन्हीं के पिता के नक्शे कदम पे चलना चाह रहे हैं। और यहाँ पर मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा साहब जो अभी कंटेस्टेड हैं, उनकी तो बहुत अच्छी सोच है मुसलमानों।
यहाँ पे काफी माइनॉरिटी पॉपुलेशन है, तो उनकी वोट भी वो लाना चाहते हैं। आप एक यहाँ पे यंग मैन है, युवक हैं, जूनियर कॉलेज में पढ़ते हैं। अभी जब बाइफिकेशन का मुद्दा आया है, तो क्या आर यू वरीड एज ए यंगस्टर कि हैदराबाद चला गया? हैदराबाद इज सीन एज अ प्लेस दैट गेव जॉब्स टू यंगस्टर्स.
Yeah, of course, Naidu is the only one and only person to bifurcate the state. YS Jagan Mohan Reddy is one to strike for Seemandhra, Samaikandra. Here in Seemandhra, YSR Congress is to sweep all the seats in Seemandhra.
So, but he's promising development, and that's the choice really that people need to make. They're choosing between YSR Congress, who they believe may bring back YSR's own regime of welfare policies. He has given scholarships to college students. He has had many of those health insurance schemes as well. Whereas on the other hand, Naidu and Modi are promising a development package that they will develop the capital, a new capital here, just like they did for Hyderabad, just like Chandrababu Naidu did for Hyderabad. That's it today from the Seemandhra region. We are now going across to Rahul Srivastava, who is in Faizabad. Over to you, Rahul.
Thanks, Uma. We are in Faizabad. Faizabad, which has been a battleground and also perhaps a playground for emotive appeals right since 1941. One emotive appeal about the Ram Mandir has divided the politics, divided the people, and perhaps created so many disruptions. The change was in 2009 when real politics returned and emotive appeals were defeated. But this time around, if one thinks that last time around real politics had won, the basic issues were the kind of work Congress had done at the centre vis-a-vis the NREGA, the Employment Guarantee Scheme or the loan waiver. This time around, if one thinks that caste is no more a factor, the answer is no. Is community and emotive appeals not going to be a factor? The answer is still no. A week before polling, the streets of Ayodhya seem to be celebrating the absence of emotive appeals and the disruptions they bring. But Mandir may have faded as a poll pitch. For 2014, there is a new fault line, a new polarization. Narendra Modi is dividing the Faizabad Ayodhya votes the way Mandir did at one time. And the BJP's rivals realize that. Sonia Gandhi today in a rally in Faizabad attacked Narendra Modi ferociously.
लग रहा है कि वे तो ईश्वर से भी बड़े हैं। शायद उनके मन में, उनके शरीर में सत्ता का बुखार इतना तेज चढ़ गया है।
The Congress here admits Modi, if not Mandir, is a factor.
यहाँ पर माइनॉरिटी ने आगे बढ़कर के ये महसूस किया है कि कांग्रेस ही बीजेपी को हरा सकती है और इसलिए उसने ये तय कर लिया है कि नहीं, कांग्रेस के साथ ही हमें रहना है।
Is Modi a factor in that consolidation?
डेफिनेटली एक फैक्टर वो है। आज मैं ये देख रहा हूं कि बीएसपी और एसपी अपने सर्वाइवल के लिए इस इलेक्शन में कहां पर सिमट जाएंगी, उसका कोई मुझे जगह नहीं दिख रही है।
Congressman Nirbal Khatri won in 2009 as the party's trusted old rainbow coalition of caste returned to its fold. Election in Faizabad produced a bellwether verdict. Emotive appeals were trounced. Realpolitik made a comeback. In 2009, the Congress had won as upper caste rejected a weak BJP. Minority rejected Mulayam Singh as Kalyan Singh was his ally. Dalits were won over by farm loan waiver and employment guarantee scheme. But the political landscape in 2014 is undergoing a change again. Realizing that Dalit voters and farmers are ready to make fresh choices, Sonia Gandhi broke security cordon, walked across fields for a direct appeal to voters.
अब के जब से का नाम किए सब भाई तब से का नाम के कर दो माफ नहीं बा महंगाई तेज हो गई अब मैं सब खाए बिना मोहताज हो गए।
The Congress, the Samajwadi Party and the BSP are vying for the decisive minority vote. The party best placed to defeat Modi will be the direct beneficiary.
हम कांग्रेस के समर्थन में हैं और वोट हम कांग्रेस को देंगे और कांग्रेस को वोट दिलवाएंगे भी।
Minority religious heads are trying to consolidate the vote for one party to ensure there is no division. The BJP is attempting a counter-polarization to make the BJP more attractive for the upper caste. Modi is likely to campaign in Faizabad just before polling. To press home the soft Hindutva message, Muzaffarnagar right accused Sangeet Shom is now campaigning in Ayodhya. 2 decades ago, the Ram Mandir was the key mobilizer for the BJP. In 2014, L.K. Advani atop a Ram Rath has made way for Narendra Modi, jet-setting across the country, seeking votes in the name of development. Ram Mandir has moved from being BJP's core agenda to a cosmetic mention on page 41 of the 42-page BJP manifesto. The nuanced shift is primarily to address the aspirations of 380 million voters between the age of 18 to 35. That is why the contest this time around in this region will be all against Narendra Modi. With Ramesh Verma in Faizabad, Rahul Srivastava for NDTV.